The real deal is we don't own any platform the way we should. There's a few Black-owned platforms, but we don't have a lot of outlets. We don't have as many. So we are not sort of governing over these entities or these corporations.
Back when Larenz Tate was a sitcom kid, he did have a lot of shows that didn't last. And I'm pretty sure at one point he felt like his career was not going in the direction it should. See, this is a testament that what is for you, and things happen in divine timing.
You don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about just following the ritual work. Yeah. And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear.
Because Hollywood likes to sort of devalue Black artists and Black folk, because you get super talented people at a discounted rate.
Welcome to New Viral Drama, where Hollywood doesn't just shine, it self-destructs right in front of us. We're pulling the curtains wide open and showing you the dirt they don't want you to see. Katt Williams been warning folks for years. Hollywood don't got love for the real ones. It's the yes men, the gatekeepers, and the fake smiling industry darlings that get pushed to the top. But the ones who stand on values, the ones with a spine, they get kicked to the curb. And that's exactly what Katt hinted happened to 90s legend Larenz Tate. Yeah, that Larenz who gave us fire in Menace to Society, had hearts melting in Love Jones, and carried every single role with straight up Black excellence. Then out of nowhere, poof! No scandals, no arrests, no breakdowns. Dude just disappeared like he never existed. No major roles, no big screen love, just silence. So what happened? Why did one of the coldest actors of his generation get iced out like that?
This is a little something I've been working on. It's new. I call it a blues for Nina. Ooh. Is that a smile me put on your face, child?
Katt didn't drop names, but he threw enough shade to make it obvious. Word is, Larenz wasn't with all those secret behind-the-scenes favors that supposedly help certain folks level up. He didn't play the game. He didn't bow down. And when you can't be controlled, that's a problem for the ones running the show. So now we gotta ask, what did Larenz dodge that others just went along with? What doors did he refuse to walk through? And why did the industry act like he never existed? Back in the 90s, Larenz Tate was him. You couldn't miss his face. He was poppin' in every corner of Hollywood. He straight up snapped in Menace to Society, playing that wild, cold-blooded gangster with a trigger finger and no patience. Then he flipped it and gave us that raw, emotional heat in Dead Presidents, stepping into the boots of a broken soldier, eyes heavy with pain and betrayal.
This young man has obviously forgotten some very fundamental things like decency and dedication and honor. Everything the Corps taught us. He is a disgrace to everyone that has ever put on that uniform, and I will not permit you or him to use the Vietnam War as a cop-out here.
And don't even get me started on Love Jones. Larenz had the ladies in a chokehold, slick, poetic, deep. Darius Lovehall became the blueprint for the smooth, soulful lover every woman dreamed of. But Larenz wasn't just another Hollywood face. He meant something. Black men saw themselves in him. Women obsessed. And the man had it all. Talent, swag, respect. And most importantly, he wasn't out here embarrassing himself or the culture. No messy drama, no scandals, no thirst traps for clout. He wasn't chasing headlines. He was just out there delivering pure fire. Then suddenly, silence. No crash and burn, no media circus, no viral quote that got him canceled. Just gone. Like somebody hit the mute button on a whole legacy.
When I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully.
1 minute he's being lined up to be the next Denzel, the next minute, nowhere to be found. And that's what makes this so strange. Because when a star vanishes, there's usually some kind of mess. But with Larenz, it's like he got erased on purpose. And nobody said a word. Rehab, lawsuits, career-ending scandals? Nah. None of that happened with Larenz Tate. He didn't crash out, he didn't fold. But even with all his talent and respect, the spotlight just never came back to him the way it should have. Yeah, he's still working, popping up here and there, but that leading man energy, that top billing status he used to own, long gone. And the deeper you look, the clearer it gets. Katt Williams might have been right this whole time. Word is, Larenz started turning down roles, but not just any roles. We're talking about roles that felt flat out disrespectful, repetitive, degrading, or pushing tired stereotypes. Even the kind where a man is expected to wear a dress just for laughs.
That's what makes information so powerful is, you don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about does following the ritual work. Yeah. And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I was like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
It's a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is.
You already know what time it is. Larenz said no thanks. He wanted real, powerful work. He wanted legacy, not humiliation. But here's the catch. In Hollywood, when you start saying no a little too loud, they just stop calling. And if you're a confident, clean-cut black man who knows his worth and don't need no industry approval, that makes them nervous. Let's keep it a buck. Hollywood's always had an unwritten cap on how many respected, stand-up black men they'll let sit at the top. They'll throw the crown on one, maybe two. The rest get pushed into the background, playing the goofy sidekick or the same tired trauma character over and over again. Why? Like Spike Lee said,
until we get in the position of being gatekeepers, if we're not in the room, if we don't have a green light vote, it's not getting done. Somebody in the studio has to say, we're making it.
So every time there is, as you said, where everybody's talking about this is now a new wave of black films. Do you think it's
hogwash?
Hogwash. You don't think it signals a big shift in consciousness? No.
Not buying it.
Not buying it.
Shenanigans.
Hollywood loves to sell black pain and dysfunction. It's safe, it's profitable, and most of all, it doesn't shake up the system that's built to keep the power right where it is. See, a black man who respects himself and refuses to sell out for a check, that's a threat to the whole system. Someone like that can inspire the next generation, make them think twice before chasing fame at any cost. And the industry? They can't have that. They want silence, submission, control.
Who's gonna turn down $50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
They'll give you one Denzel. Just one. And even he had to be flawless, disciplined, 10 steps ahead at all times just to keep his spot. And Larenz Tate, he didn't fall off because he lacked talent. He fell off because he refused to play the role they wrote for him. Simple as that. This is exactly the type of stuff Katt Williams been preaching about for years. Folks used to clown him, say he was bitter, washed up, or wild in. But now, the same people who laughed are running his clips back like prophecy. And that's why they tried to silence Katt too.
Twice as hard to get, twice as less as our counterparts, right? right? And that being said, we're not valued. I believe we're supposed to be valued. So those budgets are really important for us so that we can have the kind of quality that we can present to the consumer. And the smaller the budget, the more creative you have to get. And we don't have resources oftentimes as our white counterpart.
One thing Katt always puts front and center is how Hollywood don't just reward talent, they test loyalty. And it ain't just about a dress or one role. It's about humiliation. It's about seeing how far you'll bend. Something that strips your pride. Something that makes you feel powerless. And once you do it, boom, they own you. But Larenz, he didn't fold. And maybe that's why we barely see him now. But Katt Williams didn't stop at the surface. He took it way deeper. And that's when things got real spooky. He said this whole thing ain't just about Hollywood being corrupt, it's spiritual. According to Katt, once you reach a certain level in the industry, it's not about fame anymore. It's about power, and not the kind you see in movies.
20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future.
Katt linked the dress ritual that people always talk about to something way darker, tying it to whispers of elite circles practicing straight-up worship rituals. Not just for attention, not just for shock value. He claimed it's about sacrifice, control, and total submission to forces that go beyond what we understand. Now let's bring it back to Larenz Tate. This man had it all. Skill, charisma, respect, no scandals, everything. But he still got ghosted by the industry. Why? Because he probably got right to that final door and decided to walk away. And here's the wild part. Larenz himself hinted in interviews that it wasn't some fall off. He left by choice. He didn't take the bait. He didn't fold. And he sure didn't sign up for whatever comes with that next level. But Larenz didn't just step back quietly. He started speaking out. And when you speak on the wrong things in Hollywood, that's when they really get nervous.
Historically, Hollywood has always taught us we don't translate overseas or worldwide.
Right.
But when you start traveling and you go everywhere and you can't walk down the street, you then know that there's been somebody telling you something all along that's
right.
wrong. And my true belief as to why they do it is because Hollywood likes to sort of devalue black artists and black folk, because you get super talented people at a discounted rate. You get a Hollywood likes to get really talented black folks and get them at a discounted rate. Only, certain superstars that can hit that level that they would feel like they would put a machine behind. But the truth of the matter is we do translate because we're humans just like everyone.
He called out the truth most black actors stay silent about, the pay gap. Even with all that diversity talk, the numbers don't lie. Larenz made it clear. Black actors are still getting shortchanged even when they bring the same skills, the same box office numbers, and the same loyal fan base. And this is the truth Hollywood don't want out there. They expect black actors to stay quiet, take whatever check they're handed, smile for the cameras, and never question the system. But the second you start talking about real fairness or asking for power, that's when they start pulling strings behind the scenes. Just ask Taraji P. Henson or Monique, both queens in the game, but the minute they spoke up about being underpaid and undervalued, the industry slapped them with the difficult label.
I heard on the street, Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it?
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, "You work a lot." I'll have to. The math ain't math.
Suddenly, they're hard to work with, ungrateful, or too loud. Meanwhile, white actors can demand millions and get praised for knowing their worth. The double standard is wild, but Larenz Tate didn't just talk about money. He went deeper. He called out the real game. Tossing black faces into lead roles and cutting a check isn't enough. It's a surface fix, a distraction. The real power
is we don't own any platform the way we should. There's a few black-owned platforms, but we don't have a lot of outlets. We don't have as many. So we are not sort of governing over these entities or these corporations to say, hey, you guys have a great story, y'all want to tell it, and there's money to be made, come here. So when we do find those places, everybody's trying to go through one keyhole. Everybody's trying to go through one tunnel. And even when you go to non-black-owned places, they'll tell you to go over there, because they have to find value in what we do. And that's changing quite a bit as we're making it very clear.
That's behind the camera, where the scripts are chosen, the budgets are set, and the narratives are shaped. Larenz pointed out the hard truth. If we're not the ones calling the shots, then it's just performative progress. Tokenism in a new outfit. Because at the end of the day, representation without control is nothing but window dressing. And Larenz wasn't about to be part of a system that keeps selling the image of change while locking the real door shut. Larenz Tate didn't sell out, and that's exactly why they tried to erase him. He didn't fold, didn't play puppet, didn't trade his dignity for fame or fat checks. And for that, they made him disappear. No more big budget roles, no red carpets, no press coverage. Hollywood hit the kill switch, not because he lost his talent, but because he wouldn't let the industry own him.
That's what they all end up saying at the end of the day. Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until...
No. Oh, no.
So they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay.
And that's the chilling part. They didn't just cancel Larenz. They buried him. Quietly, silently. The kind of blacklisting that leaves no headlines, just faded memories. That's how they do the ones who stay clean, speak truth, and refuse to be molded. But now, the truth is starting to slip out. And the fact that Katt Williams is speaking Lorenz's name, that means something. It's a signal, a warning. Proof that no matter how hard the system tries to keep real ones quiet, the truth eventually pushes through. Larenz Tate didn't fall off. He escaped. And now, the secrets Hollywood tried to hide are leaking into the light. So now I want to hear you. What do you think really happened? Did Larenz reject those rituals Katt keeps exposing? Was it about pay, control, or something even deeper? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're ready for more truth behind the scenes. I'll catch you in the next video. It's about to get even crazier.